The opinions that you may hear us express, expressly or otherwise, over the public's airways, is in no way to represent the opinions expressed or otherwise by our management, producers, sponsors, or various members of their staffs or their families or few friends.
Nor should these views express the opinions of the broadcasters, the disc jockeys, the salesmen, the program and music directors, and their secretaries and girlfriends and wives and their staff.
Unless, of course, we are willing to assume that we can assume the responsibility that their opinions will not influence anyone else's opinions.
Or their family and friends.
And staff.
I think that's just starting to settle in.
Yeah?
I'm just finally starting to get it. Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM.
Mm-hmm.
In Madison, we're on State Street, broadcasting a block away from the Capitol, where gerrymandered Republicans have made themselves a little home, like a nest.
A nest?
A nest of vermin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, vermin. Oh, there's that word again.
It's 7 minutes past the hour. It's cloudy this morning, 30 degrees. No snow at the moment. The snow is ended, and we all got significant amounts. I know up in Baraboo it was about 6 or 7 inches. I don't know what the official total was there in Madison, but today 30 degrees, feels like 21 right now, and it may get breezy again. And it's going to stay pretty close to 30 all day, a little bit colder tonight. And then more snow on the way Friday. We got tomorrow off, and then to get caught up on all the plowing and everything. Did you do some plowing, John?
I did, yep.
Yeah.
A little snow blowing or pushing. It's a little wet for blowing, but yeah, I pushed a lot of snow last night. Not even half of what I need to do so far today, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare.
It's Wisconsin.
Oh,
it's wintertime. It makes everything look
I'm so
nice.
used to not having snow. Maybe this global climate change thing is good.
No, come on. You're going to move down to Florida next?
Yeah, I'm going to support DeSantis.
Well, good luck with that. It's it's going to be more snowy Friday, and then the weekend, possibly more snow. And then it's really going to get cold next week. That's the long-term extended forecast, like single digits or below zero next week. Yeesh. Winter's settling in.
I do not want that.
Well,
every 2 hours, you got to take out my little puppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 2 hours. Oh, my gosh. Every 2 hours. Got to play. Got to go outside.
Yeah. It's what's the puppy's name? Power, is it?
Power. Yep.
Power. How did you come up with that name anyway?
It's short for girl power.
Oh,
it's our first girl dog, and so we thought, we got some girl power in the house now.
There you go. Well, it might be another day to stay, mostly inside if you can, but most of the schools are either open or on maybe a 2-hour delay as they get going today, but check your local listings on that. But if you're staying home, it's National Houseplant Appreciation Day today, so appreciate your houseplants today.
No, just remember them. Water them.
Yeah. Water them, yes. Take good care.
Spray them with mist.
Is that how you do it?
Oh, yes.
Do you have a lot of houseplants? I don't think I have any right now.
No. We know we kill them. We do not have plants in this house.
Why should people be taking advice from you then, John?
Yeah, that's it.
Why? Well, okay, spraying with mist doesn't do a damn thing. It kills them.
Okay.
It did my plants. I had one of those plants, looked like a corn plant. You've seen those things, right? They're pretty generic.
Okay.
Way back when, and I had it for a long time. It was the only plant that I couldn't kill, and then it died, and that was it. And I don't want another plant ever in my life.
Good heavens. Okay.
There you go. Except for a Christmas tree, because I know I've already killed that.
Okay. It's National Oysters Rockefeller Day.
All right.
You like some oysters Rockefeller?
Every morning when I get up. You don't have them? Oh, you don't have them on your... Oh, okay.
I find oysters not to my liking. Sam, how about you?
I like oysters, but what is oysters Rockefeller? Is that a kind of dish?
Thank you for asking. Let me just see. Yeah, it's a special dish.
Enlighten me.
Okay. Let's
special
see.
sauce on it or something?
In 1889, Here we go, way back in time.
Time tunnel.
Jules Alcantara developed a recipe for baked oysters on the half shell with sauce and breadcrumbs that would earn the name Oysters Rockefeller. I don't know why they picked Rockefeller. I don't know what that.
Right, I thought the Rockefeller family would have been served this first.
Something kind of fancy or something.
Well, here's the answer: a dish so rich that this Alcantara guy himself admitted, "I know of no other name rich enough for their richness." So he named it Oysters Rockefeller.
God.
Isn't that
I've only ever had oysters out of a good old tin can.
No, you're a big fan of oysters, Sam. Is that true?
I mean, I don't eat them often, but if I'm like going on a trip somewhere and I'm bringing a lot of canned food, usually there's oysters in it.
There you go.
I think I've seen too many stories where people are poisoned by oysters. I don't want to take that chance.
Well, haven't had that happen yet.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. Look forward to that one, Sam.
Yeah.
January 10th is also Save the Eagles Day. Save the Eagles Day, yes. Reminds us of the majestic raptors that soar high above the earth, whether they are well-populated or endangered. Due to the work of scientists and the public, the bald eagle was removed from the list of endangered species back in 2007. So good for the Eagles.
Yeah, save the Eagles. Take it to the limit.
Yeah, Don Henley will appreciate that. Joe Walsh, all those Eagle guys. Yeah, good stuff.
And take it easy, celebrating.
Take it easy, and you'll get a peaceful, easy feeling. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
and
it worked.
It's National Cut Your Energy Costs Day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And National, here's another chocolate day. You got every possible chocolate day. It seems like once a week. National Bittersweet Chocolate Day. So celebrate your bittersweet chocolates.
The best kind of chocolate.
Is it? You like bittersweet?
Yes.
Though?
Oh, yeah, bittersweet, sure.
Good for
baking,
baking,
you don't want all that sugar. You want the actual taste of chocolate, and it's better for you, too. A lot of flavonoids.
Flavonoids? Yep. Flavonoids, good stuff?
It is. Really good
I think
stuff.
They're good for you.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for a little rock and roll trivia today?
Boy.
Okay. Yeah. Near the end of the Born in the USA sessions, manager John Landau told Bruce Springsteen he needed one more song for a hit single. He went home and wrote which song? Was it Dancing in the Dark, Glory Days, On the Dark Side, or I'm Going Down? What hit single did Bruce Springsteen go home and write for the Born in the USA album? And it did become a big hit.
Oh, it did.
John, your guess? Again, Dancing in the Dark, Glory Days, On the Dark Side, or I'm Going Down?
Glory Days.
Glory Days? That is incorrect, sir. Sam?
You told Sam ahead of time, didn't you?
No, he didn't tell me, actually.
I didn't tell him.
The only other song that I know, I've never listened to that album all the way through. The only other one that I know is Dancing in the Dark, so I'm going
There
with
you
that.
go. You get a big gold star 3 days in a row.
Are you setting this up for me every day so that I win?
Well, look, it starts off with me, right? I eliminate one of the possibilities, so it makes it easier for you.
All right. Well, I'll switch it around tomorrow.
He uses a simple
maybe
logic.
I should guess first one of these days.
Okay. Yeah.
He uses simple logic.
Yeah. Dancing in the Dark was a big hit, but
it's his only song I know, so he gets it.
You're saying this is...
What kind of setup is this?
This is fixed? I don't think so. Yeah, that was a great album. It really made Bruce Springsteen... I mean, a lot of people knew about Springsteen before that. He had a few hits and wrote a
And
few
what's
hits
her
for other
name?
people.
What's her name out of the crowd? Ask her to come up on stage. I thought that was
Courtney
ad-lib.
Cox.
Courtney Cox. I didn't know it was a setup.
No, that part was...
I'm a sucker.
That part was filmed later, but that was filmed actually at Alpine Valley at a Springsteen concert.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Truth.
What, with Courtney Cox?
Now, the close-up of her was not, I think they edited that
They made
in.
that up.
But the rest of it, with her up on stage and everything, was all at Alpine Valley, I believe.
Alpine Valley. Must have been one of those days where it didn't rain ahead of time. All I remember at Alpine Valley is just mud, and then more mud, and trekking through the mud from the parking lot.
I saw a bunch of shows there. I saw the Stones back in the day and the Steel Wheels tour.
Yeah,
That
I
was
saw
great.
that one. I
was,
saw that one.
1994.
I saw you there. Yeah.
Maybe we were there. I don't know. Yeah,
We
that was a
could've.
last
We
minute
could've.
deal. And that Springsteen album, that particular song, "Dancing in the Dark," is the only song that he ever did without Max Weinberg, the drummer. He did it with a drum machine, which was all the rage back. And you can't really tell it's a really good drum machine, but nonetheless, Max was not happy about that. Yeah, little inside baseball there. Okay.
Well, who's Max?
That's the real trivia there.
Trivia, and okay. Yeah,
okay, Max.
Enough of that.
Max was a drummer on what show? What talk show?
Well, I know the answer to that one. Yeah. Sam, do you know?
I don't.
Okay. He was the drummer
for
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, and
he was so strange because he didn't have a huge presence. Wasn't a big personality type.
No, but a great drummer.
Yeah.
Really good.
A little dry. Kind of would throw a joke to him, and he would just kind of, straight faced. And
well, yeah,
I don't know. It was always a high moment for me.
Yeah. So
what?
17 past the hour, and speaking of snow, Madison School District has a new snow day policy. You might not notice this right away, but their new plan this year, instead of tacking on minutes to the end of the remaining school days or make up days at the end of the school year, they've sent home packets of worksheets for elementary students. This is, I guess, just for elementary students, so they don't miss those days. They get 3 days that are built into the schedule for snow days. So this kind of kicks in if they go more than 3 days. It's just a minor change, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a change. It's something that you got to keep in mind if you're a parent.
Well, they say students got used to doing online learning, even the younger ones during the pandemic. So so why
that's the way things are going, anyways.
Yeah, we've got some more stories on homeschooling coming up.
Yep.
Right, John?
Yes, we do. In fact, we'll get to that almost immediately.
All right, coming up on 19 past the hour. We're just getting going on Wednesday morning with John and Gordy. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Stuck again. So is your car.
I shovel and I shovel and I shovel that snow. I gotta get out, but my car won't go. I get the cabin fever when the north wind.
Who is that? That was good.
Well, that worked out perfectly.
That's the Yoopers.
The Yoopers say.
I love that. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Funny how that didn't catch on. Mother got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What you got coming up?
Well, I don't know.
Homeschooling?
We could do the homeschool thing. It's a long, long situation. Let's try it. Let's see how this thing goes, right?
Any school day songs? School's Out, Alice Cooper.
School Day by Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Anything contemporary, anything modern school? Well, that's not contemporary. Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm. .620 now, Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. The capital city, Madison, broadcasting today from the deep depths of our snowstorm.
Yes, a lot of snow still out there. Street crews did a great job out there, but they still have more to do. Still kind of slippery in some spots, but they got a lot of the main roads.
It's not nice.
Not
it's
bad.
not nice getting out there and having to use muscles we've never used before. Of course, everybody went to bed last night thinking, oh, my God, what happened to me? I thought I was in shape, but I'm not in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta be careful out there, you know.
few
This is
districts
heart attack
closed.
season, you know.
closed. Dells and Adams County is basically closed off, and most of the other schools, if anything, 2-hour delay usually.
Yeah.
Let's get into the homeschooling situation because they don't have to worry. They're just at home.
Well, really, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Simple as
Case
that. That's
closed?
my story, by the way.
That's your story. You're sticking to it.
Yeah, it's very quick. The Washington Post reported last year on the skyrocketing number of homeschooled children, and all of this really kind of branched off of the COVID pandemic. It's estimated between almost 2 million to about 3 million homeschoolers are out there right now, and data on these students is spotty.
Well, yeah, you got to believe that it is spotty because what's the
There's
accountability?
no reporting system.
There's no
And
accountability.
that should raise some definite concerns by states where this is allowed. Some parents, why? Why are they in homeschools? Well, parents think that it's a way to avoid politics in our schools. And I wonder who started that. Politics is not in our schools, but some people have made that a fact, a true statement at this point, the megas. That's not true. Others are concerned about safety from shootings, which is a big concern. Others what?
That I can understand. I mean, that's the number one fear and the number one problem with schools today.
Yeah,
You know,
and
school
this is.
shootings.
I don't think this is a
an
great
epidemic.
choice or a great reason. Others still see this as the best choice for their kids who don't feel comfortable in a classroom.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of survived that, didn't we?
Yes,
this
but
wasn't
it
an
is
issue in the old days.
It wasn't, but now it's the number one cause of death on kids. I mean, it's a
What,
medical.
feeling uncomfortable in classrooms?
No, shootings
Oh yeah, shootings.
in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one of the big concerns. It is. But, having cell phones, which now they're banning kids from carrying around to school, is crazy. The cell phones can keep parents up to date, and I feel much more comfortable knowing that they have a cell phone and then get us immediately. If something happens in the school, we're alerted immediately. But anyway, it's a concern, and it shouldn't have to be a concern, but again, the mega Republicans don't feel like that's an issue. It's a Second Amendment issue, and it's not something we should bring up because it's always the wrong time. Anyway, Wisconsin has requirements for subjects. Now, this is what, if for homeschooling, Wisconsin requires at least a curriculum of some sort. But, unfortunately, no accountability for these homeschools. None. There's no testing. All you
In
have to do
Wisconsin?
all you have to do once a year is report that you're going to homeschool your kids. That's basically all you have to do. And there are subjects that are required that you cover in your homeschooling. But again, they don't follow it up. They don't make sure that you're actually teaching that, and there's no testing. How does the system work like that? How does the system work? How do you educate the public in our country and not have to at least follow it up with some accountability? How is that possible?
Yeah,
It's a good question. So something you may not know about me. Once upon a time, in a past life, I was an education major. I was going to be a history teacher, and I only got through like a year and a half of that program. But still, there's like so many things specific to education that people who become teachers need to learn in order to get certified. That like the average person just like wouldn't take classes on unless they had like a special niche interest in education. So all of these parents that are homeschooling their kids, unless they're following like a specific kind of program, like they're subscribed to like some kind of online school, or they went to school for education themselves. In my opinion, I don't think that they're really fit to homeschool their kids as well as like a public school would be.
Excellent point. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
one of the
by the time they
arguments
get to
I'd have on it. Yeah.
Do they have, when they get to high school level, is there more accountability or is there some accountability?
No, there isn't. Nope. Doesn't. We don't go by, the certain grade levels. Middle school, high school, elementary. We don't go by that. It's just homeschooling all the way through.
Some of the kids that get that through high school, they start participating in some of the school activities in their
sometimes they
districts.
can apply at, I guess, their local school district to see if they can apply for participation in sports.
Yeah.
Anyway, homeschooling includes not just parents teaching their own children, but cooperative assignments. Get this. There are things called micro schools, for example.
Little tiny schools.
They're cropping up all over the place. Get this. Here's a story I picked up on, and this is what really made me kind of interested in the whole homeschooling issue. Rose, in the story, Rose is a registered nurse, not a teacher. And the school is not a school. Every child there is a homeschooler. Rose never studied or worked in education before starting her own micro school, where her title is Guide for students who study math and reading online and depend on her for many other subjects. Rose is part of a company called Prenda, which served about 2,000 students across several states. It connects homeschool families with micro school leaders who host students. Isn't that just, it makes you feel like, wow, they're really learning. Often in their homes, it's like an Airbnb rather, for education. Airbnb for education. That just about sums it up right there.
So let me get this straight. Rose is not certified to teach
A nurse.
A nurse. And she just put this school together. I wonder if is she charging for this service? Is this just
well, she's hired. I mean, she's part of this Prenda, which is a company that is basically a micro school company.
Online.
Yes.
To get their teaching materials and all
right.
that.
And she's supposed to help these students who are homeschooled, who are there because their parents are going off to work. They put them in these micro schools, and she's supposed to help them out. Of course, she has no educational background whatsoever. This new world of homeschooling are oftentimes pods, co-ops, micro schools, and hybrid schools. This is actually becoming an industry, often outside the home, as well as real-time and recorded virtual instruction. And we know that virtual instruction is a failure. We found that out during the pandemic. Micro schools sometimes provide all-day supervision, allowing parents to work full-time. Yeah. And venture capitalists, this is the kicker. Venture capitalists have invested tens of millions of dollars in new business to serve these homeschool kids.
Oh, that's
micro schools.
Yeah, well, we're hearing more and more about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
29 past the hour. It's cloudy this morning, and we're in for some news, weather, and sports updates here right around the corner. We'll be right back.
All right.
You got a lot more if you want to continue on this. Or are we done with that?
I'm just glancing at whether I want to continue. Let me see here.
I'm going to cap it off and then switch to something. Out school.
I don't know. Maybe we could just kind of end it a little bit with maybe a follow-up.
You know.
The venture capitalist thing is just frightening.
Yeah. Yeah, you wonder what's it going to look like in 5, 10, 20 years.
Right.
We won't be around, but people just going to be learning from home, kids just isolated from each other, not getting together for school activities. Got all these schools out there empty.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is where the MAGAs are coming from. This is at home indoctrination. That's what it's basically, for me anyway. That's how I see it. Whether it's politics or religion.
Oh, I got a story that we can do after schools.
Sure. Okay, good.
About vaping.
Ah.
I sent this. I don't know if you saw it, but
Is that the one where in decline or something?
It
Is that
is.
the story? Okay.
Sales are up, but vaping is actually down. I don't know how that translates, but
I remember Vicki McKenna being a big vapor. She was
Yeah.
a very heavy smoker, very heavy.
did you
When I
go
was-
outside to do it, or did
We
you?
were, yeah. For our breaks, we were outside. I had to stand out there, you know.
Is she from Madison?
I don't know.
You didn't.
I think
care to
she's
ask,
from
did
some deep hole in the earth.
Well, if she's listening right now, you know. Hi, Vicky.
Oh, I hope. Yeah. Yep.
Sam, do you vape? You vapor?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Good.
What do they put in these hookahs? You know, these
I don't know.
restaurants with hookahs?
I don't know.
Have you been in any of those, Sam?
No, I knew smoking parlors were a thing, but I didn't know
Yeah.
that they like had those and that they were around here.
Yeah. I know I went to a party, one of Ann's friends, a writer, had that, and they have like stuff you can put in there and smoke that isn't harmful, supposedly, you know, as harmful as it could possibly be, but
Yeah. 1 minute or so.
just stuff, kind of a fragrancy thing is basically what it is. It's scary because you have no idea what the contents of that vape is.
You're right.
So, but I always wondered what, I know that they have these things like in the center of a table and you can puff away. I just don't,
Pass it around.
I don't get it.
That doesn't seem good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just decorative and no one really
No.
uses them.
30 seconds.
Maybe I'll send it out there. Maybe we should ask. Right?
Yeah.
Let's ask. That's why we're here.
We're here. We're here to ask questions.
If people use the communal hookahs in smoke shops,
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Doesn't seem sanitary to me anymore. I mean,
Oh, yeah, it must have little inserts that you slip over the,
oh, that could be. Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah.
And now, back to two veteran broadcasters who love radio so much they hope that when it's their time, they die right here on the air. Which, come to think of it, happens pretty much every day.
Working on
it's
it.
John and Gordy.
Yeah. That's the way we want to go out.
We're getting there. Madison Radio.
Any day now.
WMDX 92.7 FM at 1580. We're talking about homeschooling. I just want to kind of put a capper on this thing. We're talking about venture capitalists stepping in, tens of millions of dollars in investments in new businesses for these micros or pods or co-ops. It just sends a chill. According to Beth Lewis, director of Save Our Schools Arizona, she said they have no oversight, no taxpayer accountability, no academic or curriculum standards. Again, these are paid by taxpayer dollars.
Really?
These schools, these micro schools, to send them these taxpayer dollars to homeschoolers, and then they spend it on whatever. I'm not quite even sure that there's a list of things they need to spend it on. Who knows? They could be pocketing it, buying soda pop for their kids instead.
I don't know if, well, I know homeschooling is a thing, everywhere in
Yeah.
Wisconsin, of course, but I don't know about these micro schools or these corporate homeschooling operations. I suppose these are just on the internet, right? So they're available to the Wisconsin homeschooler parents. That
Well,
want to
some
do
of
this.
it is. Some of their classes are, or they can just buy the materials. I don't know where they would buy the materials. Again, in Wisconsin, it's required certain subjects, but there is no accountability or testing for the homeschoolers. In some states, these arrangements may not even be legal. So, and there's no way to where to know what they're doing. Homeschool parents are required to deliver all or most of the education themselves. So if there's no testing, how do you know? If there's a curriculum like it is in Wisconsin, how do you know if they're doing the curriculum, doing the required subjects? We just don't know. Here's one of the fastest growing ventures is OutSchool, which is a scary name all by itself, an online marketplace for classes. Get this, OutSchool lets almost anyone who wants to teach a class post their offerings online, as long as they are secular. The instructors must pass a background check. Wow, that's really deep. And a review of their experience. But what they teach, it's up to them. No testing, no requirement.
Doesn't really seem like a great idea, that part.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
No. I can understand a lot of homeschool, but that's. I wonder if anybody out there is doing homeschooling or knows more about this. You can give us a call, 608-879-8255, or call us, text us, send us a message.
Are we vilifying you? Are we making you feel small and belittled? The influx of taxpayer funding hasn't been accompanied by a matching increase in oversight. And states that aren't funding homeschooling are scarcely paying attention at all. Fewer than half of states require any sort of assessment of homeschooled kids. Most oversight that does occur is minimal on top of that. Only 5 states, according to the Coalition for Responsible Home Education, have thorough regimens. And abusive parents, by the way, it turns out, have seized on homeschool education as a way to avoid being caught. And pediatricians have even shared concerns along these lines with politicians, but do they care? Heck no. Yet tightening of policy would benefit even those children whose parents are trying to be responsible and educate their kids. So without any kind of guidance, without any oversight or accountability, even the parents who are sincerely homeschooling their children, who could benefit from this, are not benefiting from homeschooling.
And I'm sure there are plenty of well-meaning parents out there that are homeschooling, that are doing a good job, but yeah, it seems like there's a lot of space there for abuse.
And this is becoming a hot item because of the pandemic and because of COVID. It became very popular to homeschool at that point, and more kids are going into homeschooling because of that. And if there's another pandemic, they don't want to have their kids staying at home because all of a sudden the schools are closed. Why not just homeschool them at first? I think, personally, it's a way to indoctrinate for religion and politics. That's one of the main reasons I think it's happening. And by the way, they have a map of the United States, and if you just look at the bottom part of the United States, the Deep South, they are the ones who are homeschooling, and they have no accountability whatsoever. And that is where we're seeing most of the MAGAs.
We should We should post that map on our Facebook page so people can see that. It's something we should do. And again, if you want to chime in on homeschooling, 608-879-8255. John, I got something that sort of ties in a way, talking about young people and vaping. Vaping among Wisconsin teens is actually down, according to this study, and but the sales have gone up. I don't know how that makes any sense, but as of 2022, coming up on 2 or 3 years ago, an estimated 1 in 10 high school students reported using e-cigarettes, but that's changing now. Of course, e-cigarettes arrived in the earlier in the 2000s. In 2014, it became the nicotine carrier of choice for American teens, but times are changing. As of 2022, just 1 in 10 high school students reported using e-cigarettes, as I mentioned, but it's actually even better. It's been going the right direction, because it was 1 in 5 back in 2018, just a few years ago. And cigarette use, actual just regular cigarettes, continues to drop, with only 1.8% of high school students in Wisconsin reporting regular use of just regular cigarettes. And that's down from 4.7 in 2018. So it's going down, but they changed the law. The legal age changed for e-products, nicotine products. And that actually has been a good thing as this number continues to go down. I've never thought vaping was a good thing at all for anybody, but especially for younger kids. I think a lot of reporting and a lot of research shows that it's not healthy at all for teens. And so the good news is it's not as popular as it was just a few years ago, and seems to be continuing to go out of fashion.
It seemed like a good idea, right?
Well, yeah.
Vapor instead of smoke,
right,
seemed a little healthier at the time. But I think it topped out. Obviously, the whole idea of vaping topped out, and now those people who really got into it and picked their favorite flavors are the ones buying all the product, and no one else is really kind of buying into the idea of inhaling vapor or smoke for that matter. And it's kind of weird because nicotine, of course, makes you very nervous. It's a stimulant, which is why we push coffee on the show. It's the more healthy stimulant.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You can't smoke it, you can drink it.
True. And caffeine isn't the greatest for you, but
watch Rocker call us up and say, "Yeah, you can't smoke coffee grounds."
You could try. I mean, at work, but
I'm just kidding, Rocker.
Yeah, it's we choose coffee. We choose coffee.
Yeah,
and it's not bad.
Well,
it's, I can't imagine getting up early in the morning without coffee. It's hard. If I want to sleep in on the weekends, I knock off on the coffee on Fridays a little bit and try to sleep in, Saturday and Sunday.
Here's what I've noticed about vaping. It's I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but if you're out there and you're on the roads driving around and somebody is vaping in their car, they usually, a lot of them, open their car windows, and this giant plume of vapor.
They hotbox their cars.
It's just very. It's funny. It's weird looking.
It is odd, yeah.
And it's just unexplainable how they would think this is a good idea. This is healthy for me. It is a huge plume of vapor just pouring out of their car window. It's hilarious. It's funny. I want to also ask a question here for those out there who might go to a restaurant or a smoke room where they have these hookahs on the table and people share this hookah and
pass it around.
I don't even know if that's a thing now. I remember it was a thing maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. But is this still around? Are people still doing this? And what's in those hookahs? And are there places in Madison like that still? I remember seeing a few on State Street.
Right.
But what do they put in those things? What is it? What's happening? I feel so removed.
Well, it's not it's not weed. Obviously, that's although maybe we're right around the corner from it being weed, but still, smoking inside is illegal. Most places for cigarettes.
Yeah.
So I would imagine smoking anything in those hookahs or those water pipes or whatever they are.
They do make stuff for them.
Do that. Well, yes.
But what's in it?
Sam?
Good question. I don't know.
Okay.
I've only ever seen like one smoking parlor before in my girlfriend's hometown. But I just walked past there one day and there was like a bunch of guys sitting around smoking cigars. There wasn't like a hookah or turntable that people were taking turns with. But
well, there's another thing that's disappeared is cigar bars. That used to be a thing. There was always a cigar bar somewhere. Back in the corner, some nice furniture.
There's one on the square. There was a cigar bar. I don't know if they're still around.
I think
so. They are. I think they might be.
It's yesterday's news, I think.
Maybe you have to sign a release going into one of those places because you're going to be inhaling, smoke. I think that's the whole point of it, is a public health hazard.
Well, actually, with cigars, you don't inhale. I mean, you just get the taste of the cigar. You're not supposed to inhale a cigar. That's well, no, it's really.
I was going to ask because
secondhand smoke.
Right.
When,
well, yeah.
I was going to ask because when this law changed back, I think in 2010, I was a wee lad, so I wasn't obviously paying attention to politics. But when they stopped allowing smoking in bars,
right?
What did they reclassify it as? Like, you're still allowed to smoke indoors in certain places, but what are those places that are still legal in Wisconsin? Do you know?
Well, great question.
I didn't even know they had a place where you could do that.
Yeah, I think it's illegal almost everywhere. Although it does seem like there's some that are grandfathered in somehow that it's okay to. It seems like there's always one bar in any town you go into where it's still okay to smoke cigarettes. Maybe they're just ignoring the law or something. But.
Well, respond on Twitter X if you have any kind of input on this, or on Facebook, or on any other source.
Or the Civic Media app.
World.
You can go right on the app, our Civic Media app.
Absolutely.
Easy to use. Send us a text. Send us a message. Love to hear what you think.
Because we're flailing here. We want to know.
No, we're not.
We actually... No, but we do want to know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still have them. It just seemed like an odd thing, having a hookah in the middle of a table in a restaurant. It just seems strange to me.
It's odd.
But I'm just a caveman.
You're frozen.
Your scientists unfroze me, and your world frightens and confuses me.
Caveman. You do kind of, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, it does appear that you're in a cave there, John. You're just very little light. It's very dark in your studio down the hall there.
I forgot to turn on my Christmas tree.
Oh, well.
And no one noticed it was a Christmas tree, but it does add a little backlighting. I could do that.
Christmas is over, in case you haven't checked the calendar lately. Most people are taking down their Christmas decorations now. I took mine down.
It's artificial.
It's artificial. So we'll just leave it up.
Maybe it's a tiny little artificial tree. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we have a puppy. We don't want the puppy to grab one of the lower branches and pull the whole damn thing down and kill us.
that could be awful. Yeah.
Not a good end. No,
not at all. Well, it's a cloudy start this morning. Snow is ended.
Green Bay has a cigar bar.
Green Bay does?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't see that. All right. Well, they're still out there. And how do they do that? Because it seems like smoking is illegal in most places. Cigars,
I know there's
cigarettes.
A place on Fish Hatchery Road in Fitchburg. I know there was a cigar bar down there as well in a hotel. But I don't know.
We will have more in just a minute. 6:49. We'll be right back.
Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, 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 and if you smoke yourself to death, tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate.
Good timing on that.
Well, we're hitting those marks. Jeez, nice going there, Sam.
Thanks.
Sam asks you, John, if you can send that map. If you can send a link to that map to him.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find that. It's in my little history here. Let me just check. Let me check.
What do we got here? We got just a half a minute to come up with something. I've got this list of skiing places. You can start with that. Just any kind of background music, some sort of outdoorsy or anything. Then whatever you want to.
I'm looking for my story here, so
Okay.
Not that I'm ignoring you. I'm just looking for.
No, just come up with something.
No, I'm looking for the story on homeschooling here.
Oh, okay.
Inside home. Getting that map. Do you want me to send you a screen capture of that? Is that what you want?
Would that work, Sam?
Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. Hey, how you doing this morning?
How you doing?
We're smoking on hookahs. And we're just throwing
Jumping
stuff
on a
in it because
cigar.
no
Yeah.
one's suggesting, what we can buy to put in these hookahs. So we're just finding stuff around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Put in a bowl and light
Yeah, I
it
know.
up.
Well, that used to be the thing, back the early days of, once marijuana became a thing underground in the late 60s, early 70s.
Oregano.
Then oregano. Hey, let's try smoking some banana peels.
Yeah.
What will that do? Everybody was trying different things. And it wasn't good. Not good at all.
No.
Well, you got all this snow out there, a lot of snow. And, many places, 6 inches, 7 inches, maybe a little more in your backyard. And if you're a skier, well, now's the time. Get out those skis, cross-country skiing, downhill skiing. I tried both of those years ago.
Yeah.
I enjoyed downhill a bit. And, of course, Cascade Mountain, not too far away in Portage. They're having a good time. Devil's Head, also in Baraboo area. I'm sure the skiers are lining up and getting ready to go down the hills, cross-country. I was talking to somebody about skiing the other day, and I've got a list furnished by, this is from Isthmus, by the way, and they've got a list of 17 places around Madison and Dane County where you can go skiing, whether it's outdoor, whether it's cross country or downhill, some of it, mainly cross country, like the CXC Outdoor Center. They've got some manufactured snow there. Lapham Park, or Lapham Peak, I should say, County C in Delafield. Arians Nordic Center has skiing. That's brilliant. Let's see. Elver Park. Of course, they got the big hill at Elver Park. And they've got some manufactured snow there. And also Blue Mountain State Park. That's a beautiful place. Odana Hills Golf Course. You can do some cross-country skiing there. John, you're a cross-country skier. At least you
I was,
Yeah.
until I broke a boot attachment on my ski, and I
You can have that
never
replaced. I don't
invested
know
in
if-
skis after that. That was
Really?
it.
Why
Yeah.
don't you get them fixed and let's do some cross country? Try it.
I
How's
don't
your
have the-
ankles?
I actually don't have the balance for that. It was
really?
a real. Well, you have to kind of use your
That's
skis to climb up hills,
I'm sorry.
and that's not an easy part of the ski experience.
McCarthy County Park in Cottage Grove has some skiing. Also, University Ridge Golf Course. I think they had the big get-together there the other day talking about skiing in Verona. And then some other options, Lake Kaganza State Park in Stoughton, Governor Nelson State Park, Wanakee, Indian Lake County Park. That's in Cross Plains. Let's see, where else? Door Creek Park, rather. Lake Farm County Park. Not sure. Okay, these are Cambridge, Camrock County Park. And, of course, the UW Arboretum and Olenturville Park has some, and Owen Conservation Park. So check the Isthmus. The latest Isthmus has all of those and more information.
At one time, I did go to Odana Hills, and
Yeah?
not many hills out there, but
No.
yeah, it's a very easy course. It's fairly flat, so you really aren't challenged too much by trying to climb up hills with your skis. It's never an easy thing.
Right.
And going down steep hills is really, really tragic for some of us.
Wow.
I went up to Door County at one time with a friend, and we skied up there, and it's just an incredibly beautiful place for cross country skiing.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
But up and down hills.
Well, of course, and snowboarding is a thing now. The last couple of decades.
yeah.
I know they do a lot of that at.
I know Sam
Cascade.
is a snowboarder, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
I wish.
No?
I used to
Why
work at
not?
a ski hill.
Yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah, a
Which
couple,
one?
couple winters ago.
Yeah.
Up in Wausau, Granite Peak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my roommate actually, he used to work at Tyrol Basin. He used to build the terrain parks there, so we're both into that. But
Yeah.
there was one time, story time, when I
Okay.
was working a lift, we would take turns if there was enough of us taking a ride up and just coming on down. One day I was working with all snowboarders, and it was on the hardest hill, hardest lift there.
Yeah.
They asked if I wanted to take a turn, but I didn't have skis, and they're like, "Hey, you can just borrow our snowboard." And I was like, "Thanks. I'd rather not die today."
Yeah.
Snowboarding.
So you didn't do it.
Do they
No,
have?
I didn't.
Are
Maybe
there
I should've,
attachments?
but-
Are there attachments on there for their feet on snowboarding so they don't lose the board? Doesn't slide out from under them.
I
don't
think they
think
have special boots, but it's not like a ski binding. You just strap your boot
Okay.
straight to the
Oh,
board,
okay.
basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's I
That
wouldn't.
seems
do
like
it.
an easy one, right?
No,
Snowboarding.
I would think that's even more difficult than skiing. Don't you think? No?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
What
Maybe
about
a
the?
little, maybe
Yeah,
a little
the-
less dangerous because if you lose, you can't lose a ski,
Yeah.
and just have it go flying somewhere.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, I never
Well, what
tried
is it?
snowboarding. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like an easier way to do it. So you don't have to really try and climb up hills with your skis in that V shape. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. maybe it's good that I stopped.
Yeah, I
I'm
never
still,
got to.
I'm still here today.
Yeah. I downhilled 2 or 3 years, and it was fun. It
I
was
tried
good.
that too. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was not all that great at it, and after a while, I just said, "Nah."
You know what
Not for
soured me
me.
on the whole thing?
What?
Sonny Bono.
Well,
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
If an experienced skier can run into a tree and die,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm not an experienced skier, well, maybe
was
that
tragic.
sport is a little bit too advanced for me.
Well, and I'm sure that was on bigger hills than we have around here.
Well, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
But yeah, it can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're or if just something you get off track, and yeah, it
What
was
is that?
sad.
Where they what is that? Where they board on the shoreline? What is that?
What?
What?
Oh, you mean on water? You mean?
Yeah. Just on the shoreline, not catching a wave on a lake.
Good
someplace. There's no waves in the lake,
I don't know.
but they
I'm
surf
sure.
on the shore.
Yeah,
Sam, you're a
great
surf reporter.
question, no answer.
I'm just
I wish. I know you can ski and snowboard with a parachute over a frozen lake. I've seen people do that on Mendota a couple times.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
It's
there
pretty
you
cool
go.
looking.
That's the deal. Okay.
that's a real deal. Hey, we got to get into some crazy stuff, crazy Republican stuff. We got a lot of crazy Republican stuff,
kidding me?
mega Republican stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, it's 6:58 and cloudy, 30 degrees. We've got news, weather, and sports straight ahead. We'll be back with more after this.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
Just say.
Sing along. You got it.
I just said that.
Pretty much. I always seem to say that whenever we're ready to use that, I say virtually the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts
I
to
don't-
do it twice.
No.
Oh,
I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
It's fine.
the way that you said that you had just said it, it sounded like you were annoyed. But it was funny.
I was feigning annoying.
Oh, okay.
I was feigning that I was annoyed. Not annoyed at all.
We feign.
Feign. I don't know.
Well, you know
I
who
was
feigns
faking.
a lot. Megas feign an awful lot of outrage.
Yeah, fake outrage. What else?
You know, there's a Republican by the name of Virginia Fox.
Okay.
If you see her, it makes your brain
Run the other way.
freeze. It
Run the
makes
other
your
way.
brain freeze. She is one basket case, just an unbelievably really stupid person who's been put in charge of a few parts of our government, in their committees. She is crazy, and we'll get to that. Okay, it's going to be
Okay.
wild. It's going to be wild.
What's her name again?
Virginia Fox.
And she's is she Wisconsin? Or
No. She's
Oh.
in the Congress. She's in
Okay, okay.
Congress. Yeah. I want to sing along to that. You know, every time I hear it, I just want to sing to it.
What, the John and Gordy thing?
Yeah.
John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a join-in
Well,
song, isn't
I
it?
know it. Well, yeah. It's based
I'm
on
gonna
that.
use the new soundbite one that I made.
Yes.
And-
Could
Oh,
you?
yeah. Yeah,
That'd
do
be
that.
great. Oh, that'd be great.
There's a story in the State Journal here this morning. Let's see if I can get this on my computer. Wisconsin lawmakers look to rein in drug brokers. Oh, this is for prescription. I don't know if I can get into that. New $20 million 7-story development proposed for Midvale Boulevard. 7 stories.
On Midvale.
7-story apartment building?
Yeah. On Midvale. Where? Near Beltline. Okay.
So down south.
Yeah, it's near the Beltline on Midvale. It looks like all the ones that... this new design for apartments, I don't know. It's more interesting than old apartment buildings used to be, but now everybody's using the same sort of cookie cutter design.
It's going to define this era of building.
It is.
Like in 30 years, everyone's going to say, "Oh, that's so 2020s."
Yeah. Well, don't you? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of them. If you go around by John there, actually, if you keep going north on 12, right out of Middleton, by Shep Motors, they must have 20 of these buildings. They all look the same cookie cutter design, but they do. They have different colors, you know. But
I know it's a boy. It really took off. I mean, you're going to.
It must be really easy to build those.
The cool thing is that you can recognize when these buildings were built. Like you know when the 70s school buildings and office complexes downtown were built because they have that look for the 70s and 60s.
Right.
So we're going to know all the buildings that were built in the 20s. We'll definitely recognize those.
Yeah. The downtown architecture still holds up pretty well. Downtown area. Yeah. I like that they, what they've done, and even the more modern buildings they've kept with the old architecture styles. They've incorporated those, but boy, once you get out of downtown, Williamson, man, completely changed.
Could a president order SEAL Team 6 to
Let's do the big story, okay?
Let's
just keep reminding people of it.
Okay.
The big story, Trump can kill anybody he wants because he's got a Senate that won't convict him of. Well, I mean, it's done. That's a done deal. The impeachment thing, that's done. So he can do anything he wants, and the crazy thing is, if this were ever approved by these judges. To let him do anything he wants.
That he has immunity.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I got to do this story first.
All right.
This is just too much. We should have picked up on it last hour actually, but
no, that's all right. 7 o'clock is probably okay.
I forget.
No, it's all right.
I have 264s on my list. It's
what do you mean?
Trump and Virginia Fox are both drop-ins for 64. That's my number for them.
Oh, the numbering system you've switched over to. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
I'm up to 65 already. Aaron Rodgers is number 65. Goodness.
Oh, yeah. We got to do that one.
Oh, yeah.
That's he's lost his mind.
Is he doubling down on what he said about Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
He's saying, well,
Kimmel, this is Kimmel. This is Kimmel finally summing it up and doubling down on it.
He did have a response, though. Aaron Rodgers has got, I don't know where that is. It's actually on Pat McAfee on ESPN.
That was a while back.
No, he had a response yesterday.
McAfee is still inviting him on the show? Bull.
Well, he has a contract with ESPN. And ESPN, the interesting thing, how much time we got?
30 seconds.
Okay, the interesting thing is ESPN and ABC and Disney, so that's a company. So Jimmy Kimmel's on ABC, and Aaron Rodgers is considered to be on the Pat McAfee show, which is now ESPN.
Oh my God!
And so they're feuding, and ABC has no comment.
10
ESPN, no
seconds.
comment on this.
Well, throw that in when
I
we
will.
play the Kimmel thing.
But yeah, Aaron Rodgers has a current response to Jimmy Kimmel's rant,
Okay.
and it's not bad.
Transmitted by wire.
Here is the latest news brought into your own living room. You'll be hard to satisfy with anything less.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Talk is cheap.
Kid. Always gossiping.
It's the John and Gordy Show,
This is High Five Plus.
And that's the way it is.
We'll do it live.
only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Do it live.
Yes,
Do it.
what we like to do.
Oh,
Live, local,
God.
and direct to you.
What is Trump?
706. Yeah.
This Trump thing really hit the fan. It really, really hit
Oh,
the
which
fan
one? I mean,
yesterday,
there's so much
where
to
he's able to
choose from.
kill people now at will.
No.
I don't think the
It's not
D.C.
quite like
appeals court judges like Trump's argument that he can kill his political opponents and face no legal consequences until he's impeached and then convicted, which, by the way, he completely got a pass on. So at this point, if these judges, then they won't, but if they decided, that's a darn good argument. Here's the attorney. Here's how it transpired. The judges ask questions. The attorneys respond. See what you think.
Could a president order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? That's an official act in order to SEAL Team 6?
He would have to be and would speedily be, impeached and convicted before the criminal prosecution.
What if he weren't? There would be no criminal prosecution, no criminal liability for that?
Chief Justice's opinion in Marbury against Madison and our constitutional tradition and the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause all clearly presuppose that what the founders were concerned about was not.
I asked you a yes or no question. Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first. And
So your answer is no.
My answer is qualified yes. There's a political process that would have to occur under the structure of our Constitution, which would require impeachment and conviction by the Senate.
Again, all you got to do is hold on to 35 votes.
That's right. That's Chris Hayes. He was playing the clip. And if you get 35 votes in the Senate,
You can do anything you want.
yeah, and that's it. He can kill people. What a proposition from the attorneys. Well, look, he deserves immunity, and if he gets that, anything can happen. I mean, Trump could basically kill the senators who might vote for impeachment as well. And if I were if I were Biden, I'd use this. I would basically say, I'm looking very, very. I'm looking at this. I'm hoping maybe we'll get a decision on it because I could become the most powerful president before 2025. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and it was interesting when Trump's second impeachment occurred after the insurrection happened. They were arguing that no, you can't impeach him. The Justice Department can take care of that if you really want to do that. But let's not impeach him. That was the argument then. And now things have flipped around.
Yeah.
Now it's okay. Well, no, we don't want to, he should have immunity. So which is it? And these lawyers are contradicting his last set of lawyers.
Right.
Yeah.
So this means basically that Trump, the argument is that he could be able to kill all his opponents, destroy them forever maybe for the next 3 or 4 terms as president. Just like, who am I thinking of here? Putin. Putin. Oh, that's right. Yes, poisoning his opponents. Got it.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things you can do. You can poison people. You don't have to shoot them. And it doesn't have to be real messy. You just, plant a little something in their food, their hookah.
All the
table-side hookah.
A lot of the news shows were just saying, this immunity thing, they don't have a chance to win this.
I think it's amazing just to present the proposition.
Well,
just the possibility of something like this happening is stunning.
Yeah.
How low can this country go? It's just Well, yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd present that.
Thank
It hit
you.
the fan yesterday, and it's going to hit the fan, keep hitting the fan today, and it's an amazing thing to hear in a courtroom.
Okay.
What Matt Flynn thinks about that. I
Well,
just can't wait to
tune
hear
in this afternoon. We
his
can find out.
thoughts. Yeah, having been an attorney himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing legal proposition.
So we always want to know what you think. 608-879-8255. Call us, text us, or get on the Civic Media app and send us a message. Easy to do.
How about this as a possibility? Listen to this.
All right.
Because this is one of those things now the Republicans are kind of ruminating. I'm wondering maybe there are other possibilities as well. Let's check this out.
In fact, Joe Biden could be prosecuted for trying to stop this man from becoming the next president of the United States.
There you go. See? So prosecute Biden for stopping Trump. He was not stopping him, actually. The Justice Department is out there. Other attorneys are out there. Other jurisdictions are out there. But it isn't Biden specifically trying to stop Trump. But they might try to take him off the ballot in other states in the most ridiculous way possible. So.
Yeah. Hey, we got some sports controversy going on. Well, actually, it's. Are you up on Jimmy Kimmel versus Aaron Rodgers? What's the latest on that?
Yeah, we really.
Aaron Rodgers.
Kimmel went on, and he's just he's venting, and here's what Kimmel
Aaron
said.
Rodgers has a very high opinion of himself because he had success on the football field. He believes himself to be an extraordinary being. He genuinely thinks that. Because God gave him the ability to throw a ball, he's smarter than everyone else. They let him host Jeopardy for 2 weeks. Now he knows everything. Congratulations to Aaron Rodgers, who has done the impossible. He made the New York Jets look even worse. Did you hear this story about me and Aaron Rodgers? Now, he went on a show on ESPN, the Pat McAfee show, and out of the blue insinuated that I was nervous because the Jeffrey Epstein list was coming out. And then it did come out, and of course my name wasn't on it, and isn't on it and won't ever be on. I don't know Jeffrey Epstein. I've never met Jeffrey Epstein. I think Aaron Rodgers has the right to express any opinion he wants to, but saying someone is a pedophile is not an opinion, nor is it trash talk. Sorry, Pat McAfee. Aaron Rodgers, who I guess believes one of two things. Either he actually believes my name was going to be on Epstein's list, which is insane, or the more likely scenario is he doesn't actually believe that. He just said it because he's mad at me for making fun of his top knot and his lies about being vaccinated.
Oh, those top knots.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers actually did have a response. We don't have that this morning, but because it happened, I think, late yesterday. But in any case, he did respond to Jimmy Kimmel, and he said, I understand, but he didn't apologize. He was not going to apologize for his comments. So that's where it stands.
But it's because
now.
It's one incestuous involvement here.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they're both on ABC products. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's on ABC, and Aaron Rodgers is part of the Pat McAfee show once a week, which is owned by ESPN now, or at least they have a deal with ESPN. And ABC has officially no comment on any of this. They're not going there because they have two feuds, or they have this feud going on within two of their companies, representatives, but celebrities.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that, obviously. And I wonder how the Disney company is going to actually deal with this, because now McAfee is embarrassed by having Aaron Rodgers on his show saying this, and he wants credibility, basically. All right, let's go to. We've got Joe on the phone right now. Let's take that call. See what Joe has to say this morning on the John and Gordy show. Hi, Joe.
Good morning, Joe.
Hey guys, I'm glad to hear your voice on this snowy day. Thank you for bringing up the subjects that you have so far on the show. Wonderful stuff. I wanted to comment on the SEAL Team 6 murdering your political opponents. Tidy little thing, isn't it? Very easy then to take care of your it's tidy. It's so interesting though today because we are in a position where these things are happening and it's just so hard to keep up with the stupid that a lawyer is arguing in court that that would be okay. He obfuscated, he went around it, but I appreciated the fact that one of the judges was very clear about saying it's a yes or no question. Would it be okay?
Yeah.
Yes or no? And I appreciated that kind of directness in terms of that situation of yes, okay, if the president orders SEAL Team 6 to kill his opponents. In the same way, I'd like us to take a little bit of that directness and look at our state and this goofy medical marijuana bill that our Republican Robin Voss is seeking to push into our state. I would like to offer that I think it would be great to change the state fossil from trilobite to Robin Voss because I feel that he really is the state fossil and we might as well just honor it, give him the title and he can keep it into perpetuity. I mean, here we have a guy that is scared of recreational marijuana. It scares the bejesus out of him, okay? I mean, he's scared of recreational marijuana and we have examples of 24 states in which it's been running along and it seems to go fine and there's not a worry and they're collecting tax money and creating jobs. But here we are in our state with the fossil directing things. And I mean, I just find it amazing. He's talking about 5 dispensaries in the whole state where I think what is going to happen for most people, they look at this and go, geez, I think the stat is that everyone in the state is within 75 miles of a dispensary outside of the state lines. So you're talking about an hour drive to just go get what you want without having to go get the $100 card and to go to your doctor to see if you possibly qualify for it. And then to go stand at line in one of the state dispensaries. Are you kidding me? When you can just drive out of state and get it without any problem.
Right, exactly.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. But I like the idea of calling him our state fossil. You've also said the state, is caught in amber, which is also a very good description. So
it is.
Thanks for everything, guys.
All right, Joe. Thanks for bringing that up again. Yeah. We talked briefly about it yesterday, and it is a convoluted, a very tight plan, as Voss had promised. It's going to be very, very strict. More strict than any other state. Why? Who knows? Maybe they just like controlling us more. By the way, I have Aaron Rodgers' response.
Yeah, I found it too.
Wings.
We will have that for you in just a minute. It's 7:18. We'll be right back. I see is written. I mean, I see it in writing. I don't have sound on. Aaron,
I'm gonna try this a second because there's 2 cuts here, and I want to look at the best one here. Let me see here.
Are really hoping that doesn't come out. I'm quoting myself here. A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't come out.
That's his original.
Quote. That's what I said. That's the entire quote. Okay, time. Number 1. Number 2, I totally understand.
Okay, you do have it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, let me try this one. Oops, that's not going to start. Okay.
And how serious an allegation of pedophilia would be.
20 seconds.
So I'm quoting
How much?
20.
All right, got it. I got
15.
it. We're good.
Okay. We need to recap it.
Getting nervous here.
Don't be nervous. Don't be rocky. You're our teenage guest jockey now.
Woo, I like that.
That wasn't
Your undercover secret agents, John and Gordy on Mad Radio, WMDX 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. We are both actual Uncle members.
The man from Uncle. That's who we are.
Uncle agents. You're a member, right?
Oh,
you
sure.
joined up, yeah?
Absolutely. I got
absolutely.
the whole kit where you got a card and everything.
You got the gun and silencer?
The gun and silencer came in a little case, and I think you got a card with it. You put your name on it. You were a member of the Men from Uncle. 21 past the hour, cloudy, and it is 30 degrees, and a lot of snow on the ground. But the snow is tapered off to nothing right now. We'll get some more on the way Friday, and then
Look,
maybe at the weekend too.
I'm a big Packer fan. I love what our quarterbacks have done. Even Brett Favre. It's hard to believe, it all ended the way it did, but I still really appreciate his style of playing football, his love for it, and the exciting games that he gave us.
Sure.
Same with Aaron Rodgers. He did a great thing for the state of Wisconsin,
and
but
now
he's embarrassing us dramatically. Aaron Rodgers' response to Jimmy Kimmel's outrage. Here's his response.
I'm quoting myself here. A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't come out. End quote. That's what I said. That's the entire quote.
You suggested
I was
though.
referring to the fact that if there is a list, which again, this hasn't come out yet, this was just a deposition, right? And there are names on it, then that would be the second time that a soft brain junior college student, wacko, anti-vax, anti-Semite, purveyor, spreader of misinformation, conspiracy theorist, MAGA, whatever other things have been said by him and other people in the media would be right twice. Now, let me just say that. That is the truth, number one. Number two,
it is true.
I totally understand how serious an allegation of pedophilia would be. So for him to be upset about that, I get it. Did you watch the quote? Because that's exactly what I said. Verbatim what I said on the show. Okay? I'm not stupid enough, even though you think I'm an idiot, and you made a lot of comments about my intelligence, but I'm not stupid enough to accuse you of that with absolutely zero evidence, concrete evidence. That's ridiculous. So I'm glad, and I think we can agree on something, is that one, those crimes are heinous, and two, I'm glad you're on the list because those.
He's glad. He's really glad. That is not
that's not an apology.
That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You suggested it, Aaron. You brought it up. You made a point of it. It got publicized just about everywhere.
Yeah. And again, ABC has no comment. They don't want to touch this at all. They got,
Well, you can see the hosts were kind of quiet at that time.
Sure. Yeah, McAfee's not going to say anything now.
All right, so what happened is he's a Jets quarterback now. He went on a show on ESPN, the Pat McAfee show, and out of the blue insinuated that I was nervous because the Jeffrey Epstein list was coming out. He said I was hoping it wouldn't and that he was going to pop a bottle of something to celebrate when he did. And then it did come out. And, of course, my name wasn't on it and isn't on it and won't ever be on. I don't know Jeffrey Epstein. I've never met Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not on a list. I was not on a plane or an island or anything ever. And I suggested that if Aaron wanted to make false and very damaging statements like that we should do it in court so he could share his proof with like a judge. Because, when you hear a guy who won a Super Bowl and did all the State Farm commercials say something like this, a lot of people believe. A lot of delusional people honestly believe I am meeting up with Tom Hanks and Oprah at Shakey's once a week to eat pizza and drink the blood of children. And I know this because I hear from these people often. My wife hears from them. My kids hear from them. My poor mailman hears from these people. And now we're hearing from lots more of them thanks to Aaron Rodgers, who I guess believes one of two things. Either he actually believes my name was going to be on Epstein's list, which is insane, or the more likely scenario is he doesn't actually believe that. He just said it because he's mad at me for making fun of his top knot and his lies about being vaccinated.
And on it goes.
It does. It goes on and on.
That's going to simmer for one. But the good news is the Packers have Jordan Love, and the Packers are in the playoffs, and we don't need to think about Aaron Rodgers as he makes his wacky comments and drifts off into some other place until he gets back on the football field where really he belongs. But, we'll see if he's got one more year in him next season, but not our concern. Packers are in. They're playing the Cowboys this Sunday, and I think that's a 3:30 game. That's going to be fun. Yeah. Jordan Love's doing great.
He is.
You can forget about Aaron Rodgers.
He's making us forget about Aaron Rodgers. Right. And, we'll see where this story devolves to.
Right.
It will.
It's not
eventually.
over yet.
No, it probably isn't. Sometimes you think a lot of this stuff could sour people on the MAGA movement itself. And I'm waiting for that one thing that if they try this, then the public itself, the MAGAs out there, the followers, the cult followers of Trump, will suddenly get the clue.
They're going to
see the light. Exactly.
Jump off the bandwagon and
I'm thinking this might do it. And this is crazy stuff. House Education Committee Chair Virginia Fox, who's very ancient. All right. I'm an ancient guy too, but she's ancient. She just announced that she is launching an investigation. She's in Congress, launching an investigation into wokeness on college campuses. This has got to be it. This has got to turn the page on the MAGA movement, I think. Fox will start at Harvard and other Ivy League schools, but her investigation will continue to colleges around the country. Here's Virginia Fox.
I very much believe that the campuses have been taken over by extremely liberal people, woke people who have a very different worldview from the average person in this country. But yes, there has definitely been a takeover of the campuses by people who really do have an extremely biased set of values. And those are not the values of, I believe, average Americans. And so I'm very concerned about that.
Yes, the average American. That's what we want. That's what we strive for. Just be an average.
What if she's got the UW in mind as well? Is that on the list of all the college campuses and universities?
And by the way, Virginia Fox, whatever happened to American exceptionalism? Where is that on the radar? We got to be average Americans. What she thinks is an average American, and now they're going to go for wokeness everywhere on the college campuses, here, there, and everywhere. She is going to be out there because somehow, in some way, half the country who doesn't believe in the MAGA policies, they're wrong. This is terrible stuff. It's a takeover.
7:29, cloudy and 30 degrees. Time to get an update on news, weather, and sports, and then we'll be back with more of John and Gordy.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
Did you see my message? Annalise is here.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Annalise?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
We can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent.
How do we pronounce your last name, Annalise?
Iker.
Yep.
Iker.
We got Mark on the phone, too. He just called. We might not want to take it in the next segment. Should I let him know that? Or
I don't know. What does he want to talk about?
I don't know. He just called.
Oh.
I'll ask.
And Annalise, can you tell us your exact title?
Yes, I'm the Director of Communications for Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin.
Of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's at the top of your mind as far as topics that we should cover here this morning, just in this segment?
Yeah,
Do you
I
wanna-
think the 1849 abortion case that the Attorney General filed, there
Mhm.
were some developments in December on that. And I think has impacted how we're able to provide services. And there's some updates in that case, and I know there's been a lot of confusion around that. So happy to talk about that. Yeah, that's
Well, actually,
That's
yeah,
plenty.
I have a bunch of I have a few questions about that. It is confusing,
Awesome.
I think. I don't think the media has covered it in a way that makes it simple for people to understand that issue. The case is out there, right? But and judges have determined, or that judge has determined that it doesn't apply. The 1849 law doesn't apply. I understand that. So I'm wondering, you're providing abortions, and is it like in the three areas? I read an article that there were three areas: Milwaukee. Am I right? Three or four
Milwaukee,
areas?
Madison, and we recently resumed medication abortion in Sheboygan.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, medication. Okay.
Yes. There is shoveling outside? Is that can you, is
No.
that a
I
problem?
haven't noticed it, so we should be fine.
Okay, great.
We're good.
And where are you right now? In your office or at home, or where are you?
I am at home this morning. I live in Sun Prairie.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Or so.
just so I know, Planned Parenthood is also still. I mean, you still are offering all the prenatal care, health information and options as usual.
Yes.
That all continues.
Yep.
And that's
Yes.
what I
We've
think.
actually expanded services in the last year or so. So we've added vasectomy services, LEAP procedures, gender affirming hormone therapy, PEP and PrEP. So
Why
we've
don't
actually
we'll
done
get
a lot
into
of
that.
service expansion. Yeah.
We'll get into that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have about 10 minutes to go back and forth. I'm going to let John take the lead on the first couple of questions or so, and then you expand on as you want. If we get any calls, we'll try to go to those. If we don't, we'll just keep chatting back and forth.
Great.
And then as we get closer to the end, when they give us the 2-minute warning, when Sam is on top of that, we get to 2 or 1 minute left in the segment. We'll ask for the best contact information for you, for people to get more information, website, whatever you have there.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
so when we ask about contact information, you'll know that we're coming in for a landing. And
Now,
wrap
you
it up.
mentioned the Attorney General is on this. Is that it?
Yeah.
40
The
seconds or
Attorney
so.
General, it's the Attorney General's case.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll get into
We'll
that.
be,
We'll get into that first. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We'll have you explain that.
Absolutely. Happy to.
And Annalise, we're up
20
we're coming up
seconds.
in about how much?
20.
20 seconds. We're coming up. So. Director of Communications. Mhm.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by noses. Yes, when wanting to stick something in other people's business, more people use their noses than any other part of their face. Noses, available wherever olfactory body parts are sold.
Yeah, it's a big problem for me.
Well, you got a big nose. Let's just face it.
That's the way it is. It's just you're born that way. Don't make a big deal about it, man.
7:35. It's cloudy, 30 degrees. on this-
WMDX,
Yeah.
Mad Radio, 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. And we've got a guest this morning from Planned Parenthood, Director of Communications, basically, Annalise Eicher. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you with us this morning.
I think we can celebrate and say that you're our very first guest. All right? So let's get.
That's not good. We've had some guests.
Well, I mean, in video, if you could, if you're watching this
on stream,
yes, on streaming,
the Zoom.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you're
Oh,
watching,
then it's an honor to
It
appear
is.
via video.
And it should be. It should be. All right, now let's get into the, Planned Parenthood, very controversial. A lot of people out there, the MAGAs especially, are very angry with Planned Parenthood, as they always are. They need an enemy, they need a villain. But let us find out the current state of the Planned Parenthood situation in the Justice Department. The Attorney General is looking into this. Could you fill us in on the progress that is happening in the courts in regards to Planned Parenthood and abortions?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to do that. I know there's been, it can be very confusing, and I think it's meant to be. So Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul had filed a challenge to the in Dane County Court, challenging the what's commonly called the 1849 abortion ban, or abortion law, criminal abortion ban. And he challenged that and said, look, this is outdated. This is not about we've had laws since that have basically made this law from right after the founding of our state completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
And back in December, the Dane County Court agreed with him and said, actually, this law that's been on the books since 1849 does not actually apply to abortion. It applies to feticide. And so the decision was that there is no criminal abortion ban in Wisconsin, which is great news for folks who need abortion care. The judge had signaled a couple of times, previously that her position was that this did not apply to abortion, and Planned Parenthood's position has always been that we didn't think this applied to abortion. So this is, again, great news for folks who are in need of abortion care in Wisconsin.
It really is. Now, this still has to go through the Supreme Court, correct?
Yes. So the defendant in the case is the district attorney in Sheboygan, Joel Ermansky, and he filed in December his notice of appeal, and said that he was going to be appealing this to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. So we're anticipating that the Wisconsin Supreme Court will take this case.
But there's no stay on this.
No, there's no stays.
Okay. So we've gone back to the original current laws that are on the books that have been developed over the many years, and especially under Scott Walker, and it's a 20-week ban. Is that correct?
Yep. So Wisconsin has been considered, even pre-Dobbs decision, one of the most restrictive states for abortion care. We have a 24-hour waiting period. There's a 20-week ban. There's mandatory state scripts and ultrasounds and trap laws and you name it, Wisconsin has it.
So you've heard that Robin Voss wants to renegotiate the 20-week ban to 14 or 15 weeks, because that's what it's like in France, and he really admires the system in France and Europe. So he wants to kind of whittle that 20-week down to 14-week ban on abortions. You've heard that.
I've heard that, yes.
Okay. You're not a big fan of it. Do you think that this proposal basically is to kind of take the eye off of what's happening in our courts in regards to abortion, or even possibly take a referendum away from the public voting on this thing and wanting a constitutional amendment?
The public has voiced their opinion on the issue of abortion in Wisconsin and nationally a number of times. Particularly here, there's been a couple of elections where abortion has been and reproductive rights have been at the top of folks' minds as they're going to vote. And we've seen that reflected. We also see it in poll after poll that what Robin Voss is peddling is not popular,
Right.
and is not something that the public is interested in, wants when it comes to their health care.
So, Annalise, let's talk about the service. So basically, the services that you offer now are back to where they were before all of this started up, all the legal challenges and the new laws that they want to pass. So, talk about some of the services that you offer that are important for everybody to know, like prenatal care and all the rest of them.
Yeah, so Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin offers the full spectrum of reproductive health care. Whether that is accessing the various forms of birth control, abortion care. If you need a vasectomy, we can handle that. That was a service that was added due to patient interest and demand. We offer PEP and PrEP, which is used in HIV prevention. We offer STI testing. There's like I said, the full spectrum. We recently added some expanded gender affirming hormone therapies for patients in need of that. LEAP services, which is a procedure that's done with in regards to cancer prevention. So we are really trying to provide that full spectrum, and with our ability to provide abortion care in Wisconsin, again, we're truly at that place.
Your abortion care is taking place in what areas of Wisconsin?
Yeah, so we have prior to the Dobbs decision, Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin offered abortion services in Madison, Milwaukee, and medication abortion in Sheboygan. And so we are again offering abortion services at those 3 health centers. And if folks are in need of if any of Planned Parenthood services, all of that information is available online.
Are there Planned Parenthood offices or clinics all over Wisconsin besides, these clinics, these particular clinics?
Yeah, so we have 22 health centers across the state. And that is, when I say across the state, we mean it. We also know that accessing healthcare is a challenge for many areas of our state, not just accessing Planned Parenthoods. And so we are, I think very, very conscious of being able to keep our facilities open and providing.
Mm-hmm. Annalise, what is next on the agenda, on your agenda, and legally, where does all of this go next?
Yeah, so we're expecting that the Supreme Court of Wisconsin will take up the appeal from DA Armansky in Sheboygan, and that there will be a discussion about this issue by our state Supreme Court. We are, I think, always looking for opportunities to protect and expand healthcare and abortion care in the state of Wisconsin, whether that's through legal action or through legislative work. There's been a number of bills introduced in the state legislature that are great for expanding access to reproductive care and reproductive health care in Wisconsin. So we're, really, focused on the future and providing the best care no matter what.
Well, that sounds like quite a full agenda there. What the chemical aspect of it, the abortion drugs that are needed. Is there movement on that in regards to the second? The 2 drugs that are used, one of the drugs is being challenged in court. Any news on that?
Yeah, so there is a case that is moving through our federal court system regarding medication abortion, and mifepristol and misoprostol. They're kind of a mouthful, but
Yeah.
they that is the Supreme Court did indicate that it was going to take part of that case, and so we're expecting some movement on that in this next potentially this next Supreme Court session, U.S. Supreme Court session. Mifepristone has been on the market for, and FDA approved for a long time and remains safe. So we're hoping that, I think that folks continue to stand by medicine and FDA approvals.
And at least we have time for one quick phone call. We have Mark on the line here from Prairie du Sac with a question. Mark, go ahead, but keep it short.
It's interesting that they're using a religious argument in a lot of cases here. And apparently, from my understanding, is the Bible does not specifically ban abortion, either in the Old or New Testament. And they try, we're supposed to be living under biblical law, according to a lot of these Republicans now, where they ignore the constitutional prohibition about establishment of a state religion and the separation of church and state. And it's just kind of sad that none of these guys seem to have actually read the law or read the Constitution or even read the Bible for the love of God, to put it mildly. That it is just, and thanks to Planned Parenthood for all they do, that I actually am a member, and that I appreciate what they do. And what's next for these guys? To ban vasectomies because they think that's interfering with God's will? That
I wouldn't put it past them.
They won't do that.
No.
Mark, thank you for your call. Annalise?
Yeah. What do you say to that, Annalise?
Well, thank Mark for his support for sure. It's reproductive health is people come to reproductive health from any number of perspectives and views, and I think that's why it's so important for us to respect that it is it is an individual choice, and we cannot be and should not be making any choices on reproductive health for anyone else.
Absolutely.
So that's so important.
All right.
Annalise, if people want to get a hold of you, give us all your contact information, websites, phone numbers, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So the best way to find out information about Planned Parenthood is ppwi.org. We are on all of the major social networks. So folks can connect with us and learn more on, Facebook, Insta, that formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, all of the above. But yeah, ppwi.org is the best way to find contact information and to learn more and make an appointment if you need.
All right. Director of Communication of Planned Parenthood, Annalise Eicher, thanks for being a part of the program this morning, answering some of the questions that we have about it and some of the confusion, straightening that out finally, where you provide the services and what services you do provide. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, Annalise.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.
Very good. All right.
We're going to have a little segment coming up in regards to the religious aspect to all of this from John Fugelsang. He had a little diatribe on it, and we're going to play that next.
It's a cloudy start on this Wednesday, 30 degrees, 7:49. We'll be back in just a minute. Thank you to Annalise, if she's still listening.
She left.
Okay.
But yeah, that was good. That was a good segment.
Yeah, you might want to post that.
Yeah,
I want to try to get into posting stuff on Facebook and YouTube, or at least Facebook.
Sure, you do.
Well, no, it's really, I know we don't have many followers right now, but
no,
the way you get them is to post stuff.
Just kidding.
What are you talking about coming up next? Again,
John Fugelsang did a little diatribe,
about
a little rant about religion,
yes,
and abortion
I
and
saw
everything
this too.
else.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
20 seconds.
And then I've got some events coming up we can fill with. Want to do that as soon as I find my list. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh, I lost it.
Oh no. Well, let me know if you need time. I can
What a time for Hawaiian music. Mad Radio WMDX.
Snow on the ground, cold temperatures, going to get colder over the weekend, more snow on Friday, and then it turns really cold next week, like it's single digits and below zero.
We can surf down our icy driveways.
That's it.
92.7 FM and 1580 AM on the dial. You've heard John Fugelsang a few times on other programs.
He used to be on MTV way back.
Yeah.
Way back in the
stand-up comedian.
Days. Yeah, really good. Very sharp guy.
But one of his parents was heavily into religion, and of course that is something that influenced him a great deal. And he had a little rant the other day in regards to all of this stuff. Let's check it out.
I would love to leave behind right-wing fundamentalists and Christian nationalists who use Jesus, whose birth we celebrate, as a prop while legislating and fighting against his actual teachings. There's a lot of right-wing brothers and sisters in this country who identify as Christian, and they care about the manger and the crucifix, and they ignore the 30 years of teaching. 33. Well, actually 3 years of teaching he did in between. Jesus is not an ally of the Republican Party. There is no overlap between Jesus and the policies of Donald Trump. In South Carolina, they tried to have a bill this year calling for the death penalty for abortion. We're so pro-life, we'll kill you. That's where we're at right now.
That's Stephen Wright. I would kill for a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah.
Seeing the Pope this week enrage these right-wing Christians so much because he acted like Jesus in blessing gay unions. Yep. Jesus is not anti-immigrant. He commands people to welcome the stranger. He never mentions abortion. The Bible never condemns abortion. We've had 2 generations of Christians in this country who have been groomed to believe criminalizing abortion is something to do with what Jesus talked about. Christ was a peaceful, radical, nonviolent revolutionary, never mentioned gay people. He commanded you to pay your taxes, to welcome the stranger. Individuals and nations must care for the poor and sick in Matthew 25. He who lives by the sword must die by the sword, Luke 22. There's a reason why these right-wingers never try to put the Sermon on the Mount on walls in classrooms.
It's because somebody read the Bible.
Wow, just before Jesus' birthday, you're delivering.
Listen, I'm the child of an ex-nun and an ex-Franciscan.
Oh, wow.
And if you want to criminalize abortion and put people in jail because you're so Christian, when Jesus never mentioned abortion, but you support the death penalty, which Christ actually opposed, the rest of us...
a lot of men wrote the books,
But if you support those things, then the rest of us aren't obliged to take your claims of Christian piety seriously anymore. And the media is to blame because the media loves a bad guy and has made the Falwells and the Robertsons pass for what Christianity is for a generation. It's time to take the Bible back from the hypocrites.
John Fugelsang, former stand-up comedian and now guest. He's on Stephanie Miller quite a bit. I think he's actually filled in for a few times. But that is an incredible bunch of history. You can kind of glean your information from. I did a little research on this a long time back, and I remember looking up the abortion issue on this. And at one time, the Roman Catholic Church, by some strange movement, endorsed abortion. And they eventually banned it because it was taking the possibility of more Roman Catholics growing up to be Roman Catholic. So they wanted to increase the numbers, and so they basically endorsed banning abortion at that point. So there is a long history that the Supreme Court ignored in regards to the history of abortion in religion. And I always thought that the religious argument was the strongest argument in regards to talking about it in the Supreme Court and saying it's a religious choice. And it's a religious freedom that they should have considered and not so much a privacy issue. That's where I was at the time.
Well, yeah. And once again, we want to thank Annalise Eicher from Planned Parenthood for joining us just a few minutes ago, and appreciate her updating us on the issue and where it stands in Wisconsin. And there's more to come on that, no doubt.
But it's such a strange thing where, we're talking about, well, they're ending the life, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Trump is in court arguing that he has the legal ability to put a hit out on his political opponents. Again, here's a
Could
little
a president order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? That's an official act in order to SEAL Team 6?
He would have to be and would speedily be, impeached and convicted before the criminal prosecution.
What if he weren't? There would be no criminal prosecution, no criminal liability for that?
Chief Justice's opinion in Marbury against Madison and our constitutional tradition and the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause all clearly presuppose that what the founders were concerned about was not.
I asked you a yes or no question. Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first. And
so your answer is no.
My answer is qualified yes. There's a political process that would have to occur under the structure of our Constitution, which would require impeachment and conviction by the Senate.
That is just an amazing thing.
All you got to do is hold on to 35 votes.
It's a qualified yes.
Yeah, but really a no.
Oh, God. Our brains are hurting this morning. Our heads are exploding.
Yes, and there's much more on that coming. I mean, all the political pundits are just, smacking the side of their heads.
It's
with
just
that
the
answer.
idea that something like this is even presented in court, and it's on the level of the presidency. My God.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's not going to win that immunity fight.
No.
It's pretty apparent.
No, but to do
everybody
that.
but him. And even I guess he went in front of the microphones and cameras afterwards and Trump was quite dejected, but still trying to, put a good face forward, but hard to do after that judge.
He gave the yes
players.
on that argument.
Yeah.
He approved that argument in court.
Yeah.
So that is where that's the direction we're headed.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Wow.
That's all. Yeah, I know.
It just blows your mind. It's impossible, to appear in between or moderate or try to take both sides of the issue on this. You can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Gosh. Well,
7:58, and that is going to put a wrapper on things for today.
We're going to have to find some way to come down from this.
Yes, we will. Well, there's always tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be updating you on all the events coming up for the weekend. There's a lot of stuff going on around Madison and Dane County and the area.
Yeah.
We'll be doing that tomorrow. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining us. John and Gordy will be with you tomorrow.
Take care.
Careful snow shoveling.
It's the John and Gordy Show.